Hey folks, I'm Dave. I want to thank you for being here, and I hope everybody's well today. So we are going to design and make this. I know it's not fall yet, but when fall gets here, we want to be ready. So we're going to start by grabbing a circle. We're going to hold shift and draw out a perfect circle. We're going to click the selector tool. Then we're going to go up to tools and down to deform 16 points. And we're going to grab these two center controllers and just pull them together and flatten the top of that pumpkin out. Then we're going to click the selector tool. Now we're going to copy that with Control D, and we're going to squeeze it in a little bit. Y'all bear with me, folks. We will get there, I promise. Then we're going to Control D again. Squeeze it in again. Pull it to the center. Then you can start working with these others to get them lined up exactly to what you believe a pumpkin looks like. Then we're going to tie them together and squeeze them down a little more. So we're going to leave that selected. We're going to shift. We're going to select the second one we made. We're going to pull it down just a little bit because we're going to take that outside one off, pull it off to the side. We're going to grab a circle. I hope that's not behind my head. Let me move it up a little bit to make sure. Then we're going to grab a circle. Shift, draw out a circle. Click your selector tool, and then we're going to squeeze it down just a little bit. And we're going to cut the top of that off. So we're going to select both. Go to Tools. Go to Boolean Assistant. And we're going to go subtract A from B. Click OK. Then we're going to set it back in here. Pull it up to the top so it kind of helps look like the top of the pumpkin is rounded. And now we need to go make a stem. So we're going to grab a circle and we're just going to drag it out oblong like that. Then we're going to go up to Tools, Deform 16 points. We're going to drag the bottom out because this is set on top and just be welded in place. So just drag it out, kind of make this look like a nose. And that should be okay. We're going to click the selector tool. Going to pull it down a little bit, and then we will go deform it some more. We'll grab that, and we're going to drag these up and over to one side. We'll grab these and pull them in a little bit. Then we'll click the selector tool, and then we will go at it some more. Tools, Deform 16 points, and then we will loop that on around and make it look a little more like a stem. We'll click the selector tool. Then we're going to grab a square and we're going to cut part of this off. Actually, we're going to copy it first. We don't want to cut that one off. So Control D, get a copy. We'll stick that one off to the side here. Then we'll grab a square. We'll set it right there somewhere. Click the selector tool. Grab both of these. Go up to Tools, down to Boolean Assistant. We want to subtract again, just like that, A from B. And there we go. Now we can bring this one back over. And then we can flip it around. I'm going to pull this over to the side a little bit. We're going to take this one, set them together, and I'm just playing, folks, so your pumpkin will most definitely look a little different, but we want to make it look like it's got a knot there to make it look a little curly, the way a pumpkin stem tends to do. Click the selector tool on that circle, and we're not looking for a perfect circle, we're just dragging it out to make it look like that pumpkin stem is wrapped. And this time we can select them all and use the weld button over here in the modify tools section, just like so. Alright, now we can pull our pumpkin down. It's not grouped together at this point because when we weld this in, we're only dealing with this outer piece. So the stem is clearly too large, so we're going to make it smaller. We're going to put it in here like so. Wherever you think it looks good to you. We'll get a duplicate with Control D, pull it off to the side, see if we can get it back inside to give it a little more depth. We're going to pull this one out a little bit, straighten it up some, or not. The stems aren't perfect, we know that. We're going to set it inside like that. We're going to shift, select that outer piece, and in this case we can use union because union is dealing with two shapes and weld is multiple shapes. So there we go. So that is union together. We're going to grab this portion, turn it into an engraving. We're going to move that engraving up above the cut line, and I'm using a 40-watt laser, so I'm going to make this 60 millimeters per second speed and leave it at 20% power. I want to grab this, pull it up a little bit to make it fill in this little area here, just like that. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Okay, now we're going to pull this one down a little bit and see if we can get it to fit in here. Maybe we can. Squeeze it up some. Turn it around. If it don't work, Control Z to put that back where it came from. We only want this one. Okay, that's not going to work, folks, so I'm gonna just delete it. Excuse me. When things don't work, after you've done it several times, just do something else. So I'm going to grab a circle. I'm just going to draw out a little circle. Click the selector tool, put it on the knot. And I think that looks pretty good. Now this is still not grouped because we need to put a tab on it. So I'm going to grab this portion, the engraving, group that, pull it out of the way, and I'm going to get this little dot out of here. If you have engravings attached to your main piece and you group them and then you attach anything else to it, everything will take on the engrave settings. Okay, so let's grab a tab. Let me move this up a little bit. I'm going to hit Control Z again. I do that a lot. I just want to move this up a little bit. And remember, you can use your scroll wheel to go in and out. You can hold it down and move the entire canvas around. So I'm just going to draw out a tab. I don't know why I drew it out perfect, but it doesn't have to be. It's just going to be a rectangle. And we'll go up top, make sure your lock is off, and we're in millimeters. We're going to make it a width of 20 and a height of 3. And I'll make it 2. I think we're going to use 2 millimeter basswood plywood. It looks kind of small. We'll get in close. We just want that 2 millimeters to go through the bottom, so we're going to snap this to the bottom, but then we're going to just pull it up inside. All we need is that 2 millimeter piece sitting on the bottom, and then we can grab the edge, pull it up inside. We can select both, and then we can either weld or union, either one. Okay, now we need a base. So let's grab another square, draw out a rectangle. We'll just make this 100 by 50. And then we'll select it, go over to the Shape Properties tab, and we will radius off those corners a little bit so they won't be sharp. I'll go to 6, and if you don't have that tab, go up to Window, down to Shape Properties, and be sure it's checked. And then we will draw out another rectangle for the slot, and we will make it the 20. And since we're using 2 millimeter wood and I need to adjust a little bit for the kerf, I'll make the slot 1.5. And then let me scroll in a little bit, select it, shift, select the outer base, and click bullseye. We will put all this together, scroll in a little bit, set that in there, get our little knot circle in place, and then let me see the size of this. That's fine, 184, so that's probably around 7 inches tall overall, something like that. Something close. You make it as large or small as you would like, and when fall rolls around, you'll be ready. Okay, folks, well, before we jump into laser, this if you have an art library, of course you can select the item you've created, and you can do it before you put the tab on it or after, whatever you like, and you can import graphic to your art library from any graphic from your project. And I will just call it Pumpkin 3 because I've probably got some pumpkins in there. And I do. There's Pumpkin 1, there's Pumpkin 3. And I will drop a link in the description so you can create an art library if you don't have one. And at this point we are done, and we will jump into laser, cut this out, and see what it looks like. Okay, folks, I'll be right back. All right, we're all framed up and ready to go. Let's send the code over, cut this out, see what it looks like. Okay, folks, let me clean this up, put it together, and we'll get a closer look at it. Well, here's our finished pumpkin, designed from scratch, so I am proud of me, yay. But more importantly, hopefully I've been able to help you folks get ready for fall when it does show up. If you give this a try, and you have questions, just drop them down in the comments and I'll get you an answer. If you have questions about anything I've got posted or any general laser or Lightburn questions, I'm glad to try to answer those as well. I really appreciate you folks watching. I appreciate the comments and the questions because it not only helps the channel grow, but it helps me to continue to do this. So please keep it up. And check back often for new videos. You folks take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.